finished all 8 episodes of The 3-Body Problem. Let's jump into it right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you for spending time with me as we talk about and rant about movies, television, and comic books, and the occasional board game. And everything pop culture. I am your host, Frank Zenka. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer. So if you're looking for anything that I've written, you can just jump on Amazon, just type my name in. Well, you'll see all the novels and graphic novels that I've written pop up if you want to jump in on any of that. And then on top of that, if you're a budding filmmaker or writer or things to that effect, and you're wondering how to jump into low-budget film, what it takes, and what the procedures are. I am going to be doing a film in May, but before I did do that, we've been kind of dead because of the strikes. So I am going to do a class on the 20th and 21st of April. And this is 2024 if you're watching this way in the future. And but the description below has a link to Eventbrite. I am doing a 2-day, so it's a weekend, 3-hour per day class on everything from writing to a budget, to budgeting, to scheduling, crewing, distribution, all that. And then just yesterday, my other friend Scott DuPont, who does film financing, he's going to jump on for 20 minutes and give an overview on film financing on the low budget side as well. So $1 million. When I say low budget, I'm talking about $1 million. And so if you want to join us, I'm only going to have 20 seats open. I want to make it small for my first one, and I want to be able to give everybody the chance to ask questions and get a personal interaction with me as we talk and go through the procedures. So again, the description below in the link below will have the link in it to Eventbrite. And if you bring people with you, I will give $30 off your entire party, or if it's just you and one person, each one of you will get $30 off. So again, it's gonna be fun, and I hope you guys can join us. All right, so let's jump into the 3-Body Problem. And this is a series that is on Netflix that was made, obviously it's a Netflix original, that was by the same guys that did Game of Thrones. So they were supposed to have their own Star Wars as well, and after watching this, I'm almost thank God they didn't. The actors seem to like them, so they must run a pretty decent set. Like Liam Cunningham, who was also from Game of Thrones, did come out and say that he said yes to them without even reading any scripts. So apparently they do run a nice ship where everybody likes to work with them, where it's efficient and fun, where it keeps a light, which is important. So that's good to know that they're nice people, but that doesn't mean that the quality of their stuff is good, as everybody knows from the last season of Game of Thrones, where they totally lost sight of what they were even doing. To the point where Peter Dinklage said, obviously my character had turned into an idiot. So the DP on this is very good, so it's got a very nice look to it. The acting is good. The problem is that it's kind of all over the place. It tries to set itself up as a sci-fi soap opera. And I'm going to go into light spoilers with this as well, because it's very hard to talk about it. Because I kind of wish that I knew what it was about before I jumped into 8 episodes. Because I'm also watching Shogun at the same time. I just watched Warrior. And I've watched some really good, compelling stuff. It's funny that they're both, Asian-based. But they are far superior in storytelling and pace than 3-Body Problem is. So I walked into it thinking 3-Body Problem, okay, so it's like people getting murdered, But the bodies that they're talking about are solar bodies, are like, I don't want to say lunar, but they're planets. They're suns. Yeah. So they're suns. That's the 3 bodies that they're talking about. So the aliens, so there's aliens in this, okay? So there's absolutely nothing new to this. So there's nothing new. I'm just going to tell you that straight out. This is borrowed from everything, except for instead of trying to communicate, they know that they're coming, and it's not just a communication thing. It's more like a dreaded takeover. The aliens are coming, and they're going to take over the planet. So there is a pending invasion coming, and we've seen that a million times over. Except that it's going to take them 400 years to get to the planet. So I don't know where to go with that. I know it's off a book, but I mean, where do you go with that? Where it's just like, yeah, the aliens will eventually get here, but they're communicating now, like real time. But they're 400 years out. It's like, where did this number come from? Of 400. I mean, you could make it 20 years. You could make it 50 years. It's got to be 400 years. It's very strange. It's a very strange plot device that the conflict is so far out in the future that as us being, whether it's a reader or whether it's a viewer, do we care? I mean, do we care? I personally don't. I don't care. Because all the characters that we're getting to know or whatever are all going to be dead. It doesn't matter. They then introduce, suspended animation, but it's just like, again, do we care? And all the characters know each other. Like, there's one piece where they're like, one of the characters gets stricken with cancer, and then later on they're like, do we know anybody that's about to die that could go on this mission? Oh yeah, our friend did. I'm like, come on, man. How convenient can you get? Come on. I was rolling my eyes going, of course, this is still why we had this all set up. It's bad. It's bad. What I do like is the stuff that goes into the video game. But we see the one with the sword and stuff like that from the trailers. I like that, but we don't really get to see the video game portion of it because it all reverts back to science. Jess Hong is probably my favorite character in here. She does a great job. And her motivation is very good throughout. And it's funny because, I'm in that kind of Star Trek world and my producing and stuff to that effect. And one of the people that I haven't met is Rosalind Chow, and she played Keiko O'Brien in Next Generation. Very beautiful woman. She's obviously older now, but we get to see her character younger, and you think that she's the hero in the beginning in China, and she ends up being the villain. Just like, don't get too attached to her either. If you're watching the beginning of the show, just know that she's the villain. Jonathan Pryce, he's from a bunch of things, but recently it's not from the Throne, for the Crown. He's really recently from the Crown. John Bradley, who is also from Game of Thrones. Again, everybody does a really good job. Isaac Gonzalez, always good, always great to look at as well. She was probably my least favorite character because she has no conviction. So she wavers back and forth, and that conviction, that loss of conviction, hurts her character badly, as far as I'm concerned. In fact, the part in the ship is probably the best part of the whole series. But I won't go into the spoiler side. But just know, once you see the part with the ship, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Benedict Wong is always good. It's strange to hear him with like a British accent. But his character is great too. He's probably my second favorite character in the thing. So yeah, is the show worth 8 hours of watching? It doesn't end either. It's not like it's a mini series, so it's going to continue. And the question is, do I care enough to continue watching it? Probably not. I don't know what you guys think. Do you guys love it? I'm not very enamored with it. I thought it was very slow paced. It really doesn't get to a point, and then once we get to the end, we're just like, are they going to speed up 400 years or what's going on? you know? So, I don't know. And it's not like we have this, we do have a villain alien character, but we don't get to see her enough. She's not that much of a threat. It's like they're trying to puppeteer everything, and it's just like, oh, they meant to do that. Really? That's your basis, is that they meant everything is being so controlled by them that they're meaning to do everything? Yeah, not buying it. Not buying it. Anyway, if I were going to rate this, so Warrior to me was like a 9.5, man. That was an amazing show. I was so into that show. I can't wait for that. I really hope Netflix does it justice, because they just picked it up for the next season. I really hope they do it justice. I love that show. I love all the characters in that show. I love the conflict in that show. And it's just a masterclass. And the fights and everything, well, this doesn't have any of that. There's no fight scenes. There's no action. It's purely a drama. And it's not really a sci-fi drama as far as effects are concerned or anything like that. It's just like, it has sci-fi elements because you have aliens. But that's about the extent of it. And then Shogun, I would say, I'm not even finished with it, but yes, I think it's even better than the Chamberlain stuff back in the 80s. But I would say that's more like an 8 and 8.5 also. And if I'm going to compare this to that, or even the new Game of Thrones, the House of Dragon stuff, again, that's up there in the 8.5 range. That's really good too. And then I compare this, this is a 5, if you're lucky. It's average. And if I would say it's average, because the acting and everything else and the look and feel are very good. So I couldn't really it's not really below average, where it's like complete crap. But yeah, it's average. So it's a 5. And that's it for me. If you guys think it's the greatest thing ever, let me know why. Why do you think it's the greatest thing ever? Or do you agree with me that it's just kind of like, it's meh? And I don't know what the budget was, but I'm sure it was high. I'm sure that the budget was just the amount of money the directors are getting. Make it, in the tens of millions per episode. Crazy stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a $200 million season. I wouldn't be surprised. All right, well, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember to give me a like, give me the thumbs up, give me the subscribe. If you're not subscribed already, why not? If you're here for the first time, thank you very much for joining us, and welcome. But yeah, go ahead and ring that bell. Any kind of interaction, helps the channel, helps the algorithm. And check out some of my other videos as well that'll pop up here. And again, I do some comic reviews as well, whether they would make good film and television shows. So if you want to see what Marvel and DC and the Independents are doing, definitely check out that stuff as well. And remember, if you want to join us for the filmmaking session, again, only 20 spots available. The description has the link in it to Eventbrite. And if you're bringing people with you, please tell me so that we can get you a discount. All right, thank you again for watching. And if you are into games at all, this is the Oz expansion, Dark Oz expansion for the new card game that we're going to be doing. The artwork is all going to be classic monsters. So we have Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Bride of Frankenstein, all that stuff. And it's going to be lots of fun, and you're going to be able to play as the monsters and take over locations and fight amongst each other and go into battles and things like that. It's called Myth Lords. We're going to be launching that in next month. It's April, so May, next month. I'm just waiting for the rest of my stuff to come in from China from my samples, which I'm having issues with. But I'll definitely let you know when that launches. It's gonna be lots of fun and play testing, all that, and again, getting everything in for the samples. All right, thanks again for watching, guys, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Have a great week. Thanks.